want it over on that side?
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe more room.
I'll get that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there.
All right, Steve, you are live.
All righty. We're on the Animal House radio show tonight.
Yeah.
We have Michael Bruce live with us.
You guys have like a thing where you go Animal House and you go meow.
Like the wacky morning show with the horns and the chickens. Oh, chickens! Don't mention that.
Yeah, just like the shout out to Eddie Van Halen's family.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about his passing. He was one thing I always admired about him is his sister used to tell the story. He'd stay home and watch TV, wouldn't go out, and he'd just be playing his guitar the whole time. And that just shows you what hard work can do.
Yeah.
It's practice.
Yeah. He was amazing.
I love the way he reinvented the hammering, the hammering. It was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you in the country?
We're in the Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore. Oh, okay. Great. I used to live in North Palisades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a while, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I want to start off by saying, I'm really happy to have you on our show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And, Paul Veneer and you.
Michael, we have a connection.
You have a history, apparently.
From
Is this
Detroit.
Paul?
Yes. I know you from when I used to be in Salty Dog. We used to have parties after their shows.
Ah.
You remember Salty Dog?
It's a little fuzzy, but.
Yeah, me too. It's a little fuzzy for me too. But we used to hang out in Detroit. When we go play in Detroit, we'd hang out.
Right. Okay.
Salty
it's
Dog.
good to see you again. You're still with us.
Yes, you too.
Yeah. So Michael, what are you doing these days? I see you're doing you're doing lessons, right? You're doing
some
taking
lessons,
advantage of the
Anybody
COVID.
who's interested, they can give us a call and sign up and
Instant messenger.
talk about music, play some music, whatever they'd like to do. And also we've got the Michael Bruce Group. We released Born Screamer on the internet, and we're in the process of finishing the album. It's really slowed way down.
Yeah.
I've never had to do an album like this online, and it's
got to be very strange.
You don't have any interaction with it. People aren't there, It's like
Yeah.
But we're getting it done. So maybe after the first of the year, and we had a tour set up, and as far as my manager said, they're still waiting to have us back whenever this, it's safe.
That's cool. Paul, we'll meet you in Detroit.
I like the double bass behind you, Michael. I like the double bass.
Oh, the double bass?
The bass big that
Oh, the big, yeah.
upright, the
It's
upright.
an acoustic electric.
Yeah.
Behind you.
And, this, yeah.
Yeah, the big one.
You
That's
can do
cool.
Peter Gunn with this. Da, 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 da.
Peter Gunn.
Peter Gunn, yeah. So, Paul and I went to a very limited screening just last summer of Live from the AstroTurf.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Is that thing
was
going to
fun.
come out or what?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell what Alice and Shep, they're pretty much got their thing going and they're making a lot of money at it. And I don't know if they're interested in anything involving the band except to come down and record on his album, and then he can say that we did.
Yeah.
It's a shame that he wasn't more team oriented.
Yeah. Well, we heard that, we saw the movie. The movie was done.
It was incredible.
brilliantly. Oh, and the
Whoever did the sound mixing with it was incredible.
Yeah, they did. It was just like live right in the record store. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
And
great.
we were waiting around for Alice, and I got to do Caught in a Dream, and at the beginning, and it was a lot of fun. It was very strange. And then the next night, Alice invited us down to go out on stage and play. I think School's Out. He was playing at a theater or a venue down the road.
I think it was America West Arena, maybe.
America West Arena in Nashville. Oh, no, it was Nashville. Dallas,
Texas, right?
Dallas, Texas, yeah. live from the grassy knoll.
Yeah. You know, I just happened to like look it up, and apparently that was October 6th, 2015. So 5 years and a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the gentleman that did it,
Chris Penn.
Chris Penn.
Yeah.
He's a nice gentleman. A lot of great ideas. The packaging he did you see the package, the records and everything?
I don't think we did.
No, we didn't
went
see the
to
packaging, no.
premiere.
Oh,
Dennis
it's
had a thing in
amazing.
New York City.
They've got cassettes, 8 tracks, vinyl,
Great tracks.
and CDs all in the package.
Where are you going to play the 8 tracks? Where are you going to play those?
Well, it's for those who have them, I guess, or set them on your, up on your mantle or
Well,
something.
probably more of a collectible.
And they have colored vinyl, and it's random. So you get, I think there's 5. Was there 5 records, honey? 5 record sets, something like that. But you get 3 of them, and it can be in any order. So a lot of people are looking to acquire all 5 of them. They're different colors. Right. It's really a nice package. They sold out in one day.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. I've
Why
seen them on
wouldn't
eBay for some pretty good change.
Have you seen the Hollywood Vampires?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Was it a good show?
It was, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's you need to be on guitar though.
I got a chance to hang out with Johnny Depp when we did Christmas Pudding with Alice.
Yeah.
His foundation, and real nice guy, just real down to earth and just dealing with being, a sexual icon.
Isn't it funny how the movie stars want to be musicians and the singers want to be movie stars?
Yeah.
It's always that way. I've been a comedian since those days, and I still do music, but all the musicians I know want to be comedians. All the comedians I know want to be musicians.
Yeah. I thought about going into comedy, but I don't know. That's a tough one,
It is tough because you're by yourself. With band, you got a band. It makes it a little easier.
Yeah. And you got to get over rejection.
Yeah. How many guitars do you have in your collection now, and which one's your favorite?
Oh gosh, I don't have. I had back in the $1 Billion Baby tour. I think I had like 25 at one time.
Right.
But I just couldn't keep them all, and I felt guilty about not playing them and
Right.
putting them out there so other people could enjoy them. So I had probably six or 7 now. Well, this is a replica of what I used to have on the $1 Billion Baby tour back in '73.
Is that a Gibson?
I'm holding an Apple, and it's the master volume control. Except this switch, I think, was up here on that
Right.
one. This is pretty close to what it was. And pardon?
Is that the Gibson SG?
Yeah, this is Gibson SG. Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
And I've got the one my baby is an Ibanez 300 solid body guitar. It's kind of like the one Carlos Santana had, but it doesn't have the gold piping around the edges.
Right.
But it's as heavy as my Les Paul was.
Right.
That's what I like about the SG. They're basically very light, 6-7 pounds.
As you get older.
Yeah. I also see you holding, I think, on like a Halo of Ice, or is that a Yamaha?
Yeah, that's the Yamaha that I said Ibanez, but I meant Yamaha.
Oh, okay.
Yamaha 500 or 300. It's like the one Carlos Santana had without the piping.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, somebody on our Facebook post asked about that guitar.
Do you remember? They were from Wall Street. They were kind of like, who's the guys who used to wear the flower pots on their head? Devo?
Oh, Devo, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these guys were sort of like, they were 3 guys from Wall Street type place out in San Francisco. And they were called Jodie Foster's Army. You ever hear of them?
No.
Anyway, one of them happened to end up at our rehearsal place, and he saw the guitar I was playing, and I can't even remember what it was. I traded him straight across for that Yamaha, and Well, I
Wow.
think I got the better deal. It's amazing guitar.
He probably thinks he got the better deal also.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. If both people are happy, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny because we had a band in New York City about 20 years ago called Eve's Plum.
Eve's Plum.
Eve's Plum, yeah, you know,
Oh,
Jan
I
Brady.
remember hearing. Yeah.
Yeah. But oh man, when you're Born Screamer, that's the name of the album.
Yeah.
When that comes out, make sure we get the tracks for our
Okay.
engineer to program. Okay.
I sure will. I sure will.
Absolutely. And also that goes for anything that you might have that you want to.
Anything you want to promote?
Yeah. That's already out. We can still play it.
Yeah. It's on. Is it YouTube, honey?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's a story about. It's not exactly the true story, but it's a story where I met my wife Lynn. One of the lines is moves like a dancer with an angel's face. She moves like a dancer in an angel's face. She's Born Screamer. And we play this gig, and I meet her, and I go back to California, and I throw the dog in the car, my bags, and I take off for Arizona.
Oh yeah, back where it
That's
all
kinda how it
started.
was. I was doing a benefit for foster children, so when they get out of the program, they have a halfway house to go to before they hit the streets.
Right.
And so it was I did that like two years in a row, and the lady that put it on was a friend of my wife Lynn's, and she came down in the first year, and I met her and fell in love. I kept asking my daughter, "Is it too creepy? I'm an older guy, you know?" And she goes, "No, go for it, you know." So we dated. I was living in Mexico at the time, down by Rocky Point.
Wow.
Not Rocky Point, San Carlos.
Right.
It's near Guaymas, and I just packed up my stuff and got the hell out of there. And we got married a couple of years later, and we've been going on 5 years. As a matter of fact, this Sunday is our wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's great.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to thank Lynn. We coordinated this interview, Lynn and I, and
Yeah, she's great.
total total help. Thank you.
She's a pro.
Doesn't sound good. You shouldn't never call a girl a pro.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. Let me tell you about the band.
Yeah.
Our drummer is Matt Indies. He's one of the best drummers around here in the Arizona area. So Lynn and Matt and I get to play a lot. Our other guitar player is Steve Potts. He's from the UK, and he grew up near Wembley, and he was like a guitar. You know, he would go to like every show he could. You know, this
Right.
guy's amazing. He was playing shredding type stuff, and then I was worried about him being able to switch over to a little different format.
Right.
But he really rose to the occasion. Very melodic, very intense. He's very good.
That's
and
good.
then our keyboard player is Jimmy Waldo, who played with Graham Bonnet. And
I know Jimmy from New England and
New
Alcatraz.
England, right?
Yeah.
And knows Eddie Kramer, who did Hendrix. You know, I mean, he's got quite a colorful background. He's in Chicago, and he's putting everything, assembling all the parts that we send him.
That's
Right.
great.
That's
I don't
great.
know.
That's great.
The first time I saw Jimmy Waldo, he was in New England opening for Kiss at
Oh, that's
Madison
right.
Square
Yeah,
Garden. Yeah.
that's what, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got that buzz.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get back my life back to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Why would you ever want to leave it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, when we did the Paranormal album for Alice at the Salt Mine Studios in Mesa, Arizona, we each contributed a song, and the song I contributed was the Born Screamer song, but Alice called it Going Nowhere Fast for whatever reason. And I got a call from Bob Ezrin, and he said, "Michael, we just can't seem to make it work, and with all the other material." I said, "Well, you know, that happens. I understand." So he was nice enough to give me the tracks, which had Neil playing drums on.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
wow.
went ahead and finished it, and I did a vocal on it, and that's what you'll hear.
Oh, that's great.
That is very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a great job. Did a great job.
Well, you also had a track on the previous album. What was that? Welcome to My Nightmare, right?
Yeah, that was When Hell Comes Home.
When Hell Comes Home. Yeah.
And my version of that is also going to be on the Michael Bruce Group album. It's called Hellhole Number 9.
Oh, okay.
And with Bob, they don't even, they don't leave well enough alone. So they change all that, and of course, Alice had to write complete new lyrics for it.
Hmm.
So he did that, and a lot of people said that was the best song on the album. I don't know. I'm not so much of a fan of Alice's later work, although I really liked Brutal Planet.
That was a heavy album. That was a good album.
Cool album. So I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, I don't know. You're writing
About the writing, about the album.
Oh, yes. So they gave me the track, and we went ahead and finished it, and Neil's already on there. And so we released it, and it turned out really nice.
That's
That's
great.
great.
So we let that be the first single, and we've got another song. I think people are going to really like. It's called "Famous Face." It's got this riff that goes through. It goes da 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 da.
Very bluesy. Yeah.
Da 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 da. It's
Right.
sort of a slow down Smoke on the Water.
It's a hit. But yeah, make sure we get these tracks for our
Okay.
24/7 playlist. Okay.
That
What's your
would be
favorite
great.
song? What's your favorite song on the album?
Well, we Famous Face is one of my favorites. We revisited a song that I had done quite a while back. It's called "This Is the End of the Line." I wrote new lyrics for it and changed the music in it, and it
Right.
was a sleeper. It just kicks butt, and I'm not sure yet. I have to wait until I hear them all. Hellhole
Yeah.
Woman will be
Sure,
on
sure.
there,
Yeah.
and
And it's hard too, because when you're a writer, they're like your children. The songs are
yeah,
like your
all my
children.
children.
It's hard to have
Yeah.
a favorite. It's hard to have a. Usually,
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
one, the new one you're writing is the favorite because it's new.
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, it's funny. You mentioned you're not necessarily a fan of Alice's later work. If you go see Alice now, as you know, more than half of the show is the stuff you wrote with him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it. It all relies heavily on 74 and earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to mention the hanging, the guillotine, the
Right.
electric chair. He uses it all.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wondered if I'll ever get a check.
Well, I know people need to know Alice Cooper was a band. I mean, five
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
were Alice Cooper.
Well, that stuff, that material he does and the T-shirts he sells, that's not public domain. That was created by all of us, and so I
Right.
thought we all should share. But they don't feel that way.
That
so,
sucks.
Yeah.
And what did they say? He who has the gold, he who has the gold wins.
Has the
Or
rules. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
He writes
Yeah,
history
yeah.
or something.
Well,
That's
I
the
would
worst part.
imagine the publishing is still there, right? I mean, you have your stake in that, I hope.
Yeah, but when that's the hanging, the electric chair,
The
guillotine,
trademarks.
that's intellectual,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it was created by all of us, and we should be able to collect. There's no copyright on that, although we thought we would be all right because we had shares in our own company.
Yeah.
Turns
Right.
out that the manager Shep got the voting shares, and we got the peon shares.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's the worst part of the business is the business end of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Well, that's why
all
you-
these bands starting out, they sign the publishing over and stuff. They don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
know?
But that's why you walked away, right, Paul?
Yeah, that's why I walked away. I got tired of the business end of it, so I went solo. It was much easier. I didn't have to worry about all that. But yeah, it's rough.
Well,
It's rough.
After the second album, we did the first two were Pretty for You and Easy Action.
Yeah.
I came to the band. I said, "Look, I'm writing a majority of the stuff. Some people aren't writing it." And back then, everybody got 20% of it. You did something. If you didn't do something, you'd still make the money. And it became apparent to me that some people were just going to sit back and collect the money and not do anything. So I said, "Look, I got to be frank with you guys. I think I should be paid for what I write, and
Right.
we all decided, just because I wrote a song didn't mean it was necessarily going to be on the album. I'll give you an
Right.
example. No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was written back during Killer, quite a ways back. and it just didn't fit. It was too,
Yeah, it
upbeat
didn't
and
fit that
poppy.
album. It was happy or poppier.
Yeah, yeah, and so it came along later, but we all decided what songs were going to be on the album. So if I had 2 or 3 songs, and that we all decided they'd be on there, and towards the end, I was making a good deal of money, and so was Alice, and I think he didn't like that. I don't think he liked that. He thought he should
Right.
be the numero uno, and so I think
Yeah.
he left the band for that purpose, so he could write all the material and control everything. And
Right.
fortunately, he had the help of Bob Ezrin and Shep. The rest of us, we were left to flounder, and we did some of that.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, one of my favorite albums in the world, whenever anybody talks favorite albums, best album, Killer always comes up for me. Killer
Yeah,
is
he
like
always
my
says that.
number one, too. The
Yeah.
Killer, Love It to Death had some great songs, maybe better than Killer, but as an album, Killer for me.
When
Yeah.
I,
Steve always mentions
not
that.
too long ago, I got in the car and turned on the CD player, and Killer came on, and I sat there and listened to it, and the hair on the back of my head stood up. It was like creepy. And I remember Dennis said to me, we had some friends come out to the farm in Michigan, Pontiac, Michigan, and they brought peyote. So they had some fresh buttons. So we scarfed those down, and Dennis says, let's go out in the barn and write the scariest song we can think of. So we went out there, and the two of us wrote that, and it holds up really well.
It does. It really
Yeah.
does.
A great song is a great song any era.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
That's
When
really
we went to Live from the AstroTurf, we were hoping you'd be there.
Live
It was
from
pretty
the
much an exclusive event. It was all VIPs and us too.
Yeah.
Was that Alice?
What's
It was his
Live from
daughter.
the Edge?
His daughter. His daughter was
Calico was there. Bisto Blanco played.
Oh, yes. I'd like to see I've heard great things about them.
Well, they're good. They're very cool.
Yeah,
Well,
Chuck-
she's cool, and
it was a
Chuck
cool little
Garrett.
venue too. A cool little theater. It was a real great venue.
What was it, like
doesn't play with
180
Alice
people?
Chuck
Yeah.
doesn't play with Alice anymore, does he?
Chuck, yeah, I think he does.
Oh, does he still play? Does he still
Yeah,
play? Oh,
right before
I
the
don't know.
pandemic, he was. Yeah.
Ah.
But
Yeah. Up until then, anyway. Yeah.
yeah, so it was Bisto Blanco. I think Ryan Roxy and Chuck Garrick were there.
right.
Right.
Okay.
We saw the Live from the AstroTurf as well as Dennis's new concept video,
Oh, cold coffin.
Cold Coffin. It was really a nice night. It was like
Yeah.
I said, it was all VIPs and us
It
two.
was only 106. It was 165 seats. That was it.
Yeah, me, Paul,
Oh.
and May Pang.
That was in New York.
What's that?
That in New York.
That was in New
Yeah.
York City. Yeah.
Oh.
It
Yeah,
was
a
right
lot
down
of
the
fun.
block.
I'm
It was right down the
here, so
block.
I'm out of the loop, being out here in Arizona.
Yeah,
It was in
yeah.
the St. Mark's Theater in St. Mark's Place.
Nobody wants to fly me in, so I could take
Yeah.
5 days to drive out there and then turn around and drive back.
Yeah, I get that. But the first time I did see you in Atlantic City, I think it was the Brutal Planet tour. You mentioned the album.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite song from that era of Alice would be "Wicked Young Man."
Wicked Young Man.
Wicked Young Man, yeah, very.
The last time I saw Michael was at the Easy Rest Hotel in Detroit, Michigan, after a show. Oh God, that's
that's
funny.
awesome.
I have fond
We want
memories.
to play your music, man. We want you on the station.
What's that?
We want to play your music. We want you in
Oh,
rotation. We're a big supporter.
We'll get
Your
it to you.
songs make up my childhood, my history.
Yeah, it's the stuff we did in Pontiac was, we didn't have a lot of money then, and we were at a place to live, and we had a great place to rehearse out there was a paddock where they trained horses. It was like a football field indoors, and it was lit.
Oh, that's cool.
Lights. And now that I think back, we could have held a concert there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the ground
How were
ballroom.
the acoustics? I bet the acoustics were good too. I bet, right?
Yeah, not earth floor, so that would help. But at the end, it had a big tool room where they'd work on the horse, bridles and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it was huge. It was like, gosh, 24 feet by 50 or something like that. It was quite large. We set up in there and did all kinds of stuff in there and worked on our theatrics there. And Bob Ezrin worked with us there, and it was great. It was really a positive thing. We all did well by that.
Yeah. I remember when you came out with your book, that was No More Mr. Nice Guy, right?
Right.
Yeah. That was, I don't know, 20 years ago or more.
At least.
At least, yeah. But you were the first one, other than Alice with his Me, Alice and all that, that published a book. So that was a big deal for me. And it was funny to hear you or read you recount a lot of the stories that he told with him as first person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right?
One of them come to mind to you. Was that the one that, remember there was one, I don't think it was the one that he was going over to Frank's house in the van, was it?
Yes, the accident. The van
right,
rolled down the hill and
I got the scar here to prove it. And
it was you.
it was going right into his Tornado, brand new Tornado.
He couldn't wait to sign you. He wanted a new car.
Yeah, really. So I could pay him back, right?
Yeah. Did you like Frank? I mean, obviously you must have, or he was a strange cat.
When he wasn't around other musicians, at his house, he was, he had that real powerful, sort of personal thing going on, and he was formidable. But when he got around musicians, I call him, I used to call him the musical Nazi, He would grill those guys, and I saw him cut one guy down. He was like 5 minutes late. He got there, and he just, he ran on and on about it, and then they finally got to playing, and then he'd stop and go on and on about it again and again.
Oh man!
He either quit or killed himself.
Yeah.
It was really, I can see why he had colon cancer.
Paul, you got an opener.
He didn't need to be like that.
No, you don't. I mean, people are people,
His kids, I know his wife, what's her name? Laura. Anyway, she's a lot like that.
Oh, really?
Driesel. He's kind of really in your face when I met him anyway. And they're all kind of intense, they know show business and they know what's theirs, and you're not going to tell them anything different. And
that's a shame, though. It's a shame to be that
very
way.
Talented family, very talented.
Yeah, well, I think the kids are not agreeing on stuff. There's I think 4 kids and there's 2 factions.
Yes.
And that's not good.
You can't use your name, Zappa, and then we can use your name, but you can't, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you are what you is,
How can they stop him from using his given name, his birth name?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's something.
You can't copyright a name, can you? You can't copyright a name.
Well, you can, but I don't think to your family that it's a little different.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could trademark it, but
that's crazy.
It is crazy.
But Michael, so you were saying people can get a hold of you for lessons or chats or whatever they want, right?
How do they get hold?
Through Instant Messenger.
Through Instant Messenger, you can get a hold of us.
What, on the Facebook?
Yeah,
The best way.
that's the best way.
To
Yeah,
start off with, and then we go from there.
and then we'll get in touch with you and take it from there. We accept PayPal and I like
That's
talking
great.
to people. I always go over. It seems like Lynn comes in. Michael, do you realize it's we can just chatting away?
He has a good.
Sure.
We have a good time.
Well, it's good to have a house manager as well as a personal manager and
Yes.
Agent.
I'm interested lady.
Like I said, she set up this whole thing, and I appreciate that.
Well, you said she's a screamer.
He is. Right here.
I ain't repeating what I said.
Her name was Lynn, and she played the bass with moves like a dancer and an angel's face.
There you go.
Ah.
She's
a bass player.
She can play all of Dennis's riffs, and she doesn't use a pick. I mean, That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing because it's not an easy thing to do. She's studied jazz at ASU for several
Oh, that's
years.
great.
Yeah, she's one of those one or two take wonders. You know, we're all going like this. Singing and stuff.
But with the
Right.
price of studio, we need that.
Yeah, really.
What bass does she use? What kind of guitar does she use? What kind of guitar, Lynn?
She uses an Ibanez now, right?
And I've been in, yeah, wait, no.
She has an Ibanez, and she wants to get a different Ibanez.
No, I think it was what I have.
Oh, she's going to stick with what she has. She has a 5-string Ibanez. I hope she doesn't get rid of that because it's nice on some of those songs with a low, low D.
Right.
Very cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. I've been using guitars. I got my old trusty SG, which I love, which, by the way, you and Glenn were my influence on that, right from the back of the Love It to Death cover. Those SGs.
Did we ever sign it?
No.
You didn't ask, Steve. You didn't
I
ask.
know. But I've been using Reverends. That's a company out of Michigan, I believe. And I got 3 Reverends, and my bass player has a 5-string, and we've been digging Reverend too.
And that's sort of like a build like an SG.
No, I got 2 V's, and
Sort of look like Gibsons. They sort of look like Gibsons a little
they
bit.
really do. Yeah, they feel
Yeah.
great, and they're not that expensive, But I like the Reverends. And surprisingly, Jimmy liked the Reverend, my bass player. He just reduced from a 7-string to a 5. It's like a tree. that
Yeah.
7-string.
Well, he's like a tree.
Yeah,
Jimmy's
he's
a
big
tree.
man.
Make sure your telephone cable's on it, right?
yeah. But Michael, not many people know. When they watch this, they will. I'm hoping to get you some more royalties because I'm in a band out of Jersey called Ripped, and I'm 18 will be the cover on our next album, the one cover song.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that one's already mixed and ready to go, but we're still in the studio.
What's the name of your band?
Ripped, RIPPED.
Ripped. Okay.
Ripped, yeah. So, but
It has
I'll
nothing to do
make
with
sure
pot.
you hear it. I'll make sure you get an advance on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent.
I'd love to.
Yeah,
Hey, Michael, can you do us a favor? Can you give us a station ID?
What's that?
Can you do us a favor and do a station ID for us?
Sure. What would you like me to say?
Just introduce yourself and say you're listening to the Animal House radio show.
Okay. Hi, this is Michael Bruce of the Alice Cooper Group, Hall of Fame 2011. And you're listening to the Animal House radio show on
Armed Forces Radio.
the internet.
fantastic.
Can you splice that?
Yeah.
We got it, man. One take. You're a pro too. Just
See?
Hey, Michael, is there anything that you want to add? Anything we might have left out? Congratulations,
Yeah.
finally on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, thank you.
I don't believe in it so much, but now
I can't believe it took that long.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
silly.
It's ridiculous.
I heard it was very, very political because they wanted the mainstream groups. They didn't want the fringe radical groups. They wanted to keep it family oriented because a lot of
Right.
families come out there and they spend money,
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
know.
they can call you fringe, though. I mean, you guys. What were
for
the
that
3
time they
main
were.
bands in 1973? You, Led Zeppelin, and the Rolling Stones, right? I'm
As a matter
guessing.
of fact, when we had the Starship,
Mhm.
the tour, the U.S. tour, Led Zeppelin took the Starship from us, and then they broke all of our records, the Guinness World Book of Records for people at the live venue. I think it was 150,000 indoors, and they did like 200,000 or something. But if you have to have your record broken, who better than Led Zeppelin?
That's
I
right,
agree.
you know?
I agree. Yeah.
Plus, after 149,000, it starts getting fuzzy.
Yeah, really fuzzy.
Yeah.
Uh,
But is
you were
there
in good
anything you
company.
want
though.
to
You
add,
were in
my
very
friend?
good company.
I just wanted to ask you, from all these hurricanes and whatnot, how's the Jersey Shore holding up?
Good.
Is it?
I mean, the hurricane destroyed a lot of the area. It took a long time to come back. It took a couple of years. It was a mess for a while.
The boardwalk's still there?
Yeah, they had to replace a lot of it. Yeah. But you had houses that were gone. I mean, houses upside down. You
Yeah,
couldn't even see the streets. It was bad for a while.
that's too bad. It was a nice area.
Yeah. It's fun down here. It's nice down here.
Well, I have to take Lynn out there and show her around, and we'll hang out.
Let us know.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah,
and
let us
you
know if you're in
know,
the area. Definitely.
when you are on tour, you know, we're gonna run into you. All right. We're gonna meet
All
up.
right.
When you're down here, let us know. We'll take you out to dinner. We'll show you around. We'll have fun.
Good.
I'll
Absolutely.
show you the new houses they built.
Yeah.
Get him a hooker.
Do we have your phone number and information?
Well, I
What's
have
that?
Len. Len and I exchanged.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well,
Michael,
thank you so much for inviting me on your show, and it was a lot of fun. And let's do it again.
It's great seeing you
absolutely.
again. It's great seeing you again after all these years, Michael.
Anything, yeah. Anytime you got anything to talk about, we're in.
Okay, you got
All
it.
right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Michael Bruce, Original Alice Cooper Group.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye, guys.
Good night.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Len. Thank you
Wait,
very
did
much.
you do the
Len.
liner?
Yes,
Yes.
Carlo. We
Oh, you
got
did?
it.
Okay. All right. Paul, bring us home, Paul.
Okay, everybody, you've been listening to Animal House Radio Show. Hope to see you again soon. Woo-hoo!